It's Nolan. Now, before we get started, make sure y'all hitting that like button. Make sure y'all sharing it on your respective platforms. Let somebody know what we're doing today. Now, let's get into the show. I heard them saying that we lost diversity in rap. How the fuck is that when y'all just been supporting trap? I'm charged up like jumper cables, dropping with no label, breaded up like bagels, finna wipe these niggas off the map. I got some shit in the tuck you ain't heard of, sipping Bloody Mary, my lyrics on bloody murder. Your name in my journal circled, I'm riding with your beach, yeah, we out at murder. The second coming to greatness, I feel like color purple. I'm on the level y'all ain't ready for. Shout it, want the wood, I'm a cutting boy. Been a legend in Atlanta, bitch, I'm Pastor Troy. Pretty boy, but that money finna pull a Floyd. The jewels sparkle in that water, pass me a LaCroix. River Daily, you never needed an alias. Independently checking my Nikes, came from them avias. I've been on my hustle, car shuffle, niggas hearts muffled. If you want trouble, got muscle like WrestleMania. Boy, stop, we looking at Porsche drives. Been rapping 20 years, I'm insuring my voice box. They call me unorthodox, I'm orthodontic when it come to profit. Safety first, but let me switch the topic. Y'all rappers all in my DMs to promote your tracks. Every morning logging in, I report the trash. You gotta take it on the chin if you want it bad. I'm used to it, I've been through it. I'm using my point of view as an influence. What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. Hope everybody's doing well out there. In this video, we're going to be going through a few different things, all right? Of course, it's going to be centered around Drake, and we're also going to get into top 5. We're also going to get into the Drake UMG situation, as there are new entries on the docket between Drake and UMG. Drake has filed for subpoenas. Looks like some people are going to be depositioned, and their names are being released as to who is going to be called to the front. And we're going to see who those people are. But let me get to the smallest part of this video first, all right? So first, we know that Drake was at a wireless festival all weekend, did 3 different sets, 3 different vibes. All that is known. We've talked about that, right? During his time out there, he said UK had the best rappers in the world. Brought out multiple artists. One day was R&B, one day was rap, the other day was Afro-Caribbean, all that good stuff, right? But it was brought to my attention today that he didn't fully complete his set yesterday. And the net has been hit with mixed reviews about that. So let me just run through this really quickly before we get to other things. So according to Evening Standard, they say Drake sparks upset as final wireless set ends after just 40 minutes. Star says needs time to process. I don't know what that means. So Drake's final headline performance at London's Wireless Festival ended on a bum note when the rapper's slot wrapped up after 40 minutes on Sunday. The Canadian artist took to the stage 10 minutes ahead of schedule, warning fans he'd keep performing until they cut my mic, in reference to the strict 9:30 p.m. curfew. Okay? But despite the early start, fans were left disappointed as the 38-year-old brought out just 3 guest performers, Popcorn, Rima, and Vybz Kartel, which they should be happy with those people. I mean, these are pretty big artists in their defense. The minimal lineup was a stark contrast to Saturday's 90-minute spectacle, which featured a whopping 13 surprised guests, and Friday's show featured 6. Earlier in the day, the official schedule listed Drake for 2 appearances, one at 6:25 p.m. and another at 8:55 p.m. However, the first slot quietly vanished from the lineup by the afternoon. What? So while the show was going on, they just started swiping shit, while Vybz Kartel and Burna Boy performed as originally planned. Drake opened his set with a previously unheard track featuring UK rapper Central C, who remained off stage but was seen mouthing the lyrics from the front row. His reactions broadcast on the venue's big screen. Okay, so apparently there's a new record with Drake and Central C, most likely on the Iceman album. We pretty much predicted that. Who didn't see that one coming? Throughout the performance, the Canadian star appeared apologetic, reassuring fans he'd deliver a set packed with fan favorites. He told the crowd, "London, I will love you for the rest of my life," as he raced through a medley of tracks, Controller, Find Your Love, and One Dance in an effort to lift the mood. According to BBC News, Nigerian star Rema gave the crowd a much-needed boost with a surprise appearance, energizing fans with standout performances of Calm Down and Fever. Jamaican dancehall icon Vybz Kartel also made a brief return to the stage after his earlier solo set, but the clock was ticking, and Drake only managed to squeeze in 2 final solo tracks before the night wrapped. Keeping with tradition from the previous 2 shows, he ended the evening by climbing onto a crane to wave farewell to the 50,000-strong crowd as Whitney Houston's I Will Always Love You played across the park. After generating major buzz online over the weekend, fans soon recognized the familiar closing cue, marking the end of what many felt was an unexpectedly short headline set. Okay? So he started playing Whitney Houston, I Will Love You, which I always love you, which is, I guess, his trademark ending to the show. So they started recognizing, like, oh shit, that nigga leaving? What the fuck? On Friday, Drake had already run up against the event's strict 10:30 p.m. curfew, with organizers cutting his and Lauryn Hill's microphones mid-show and flashing travel information for nearby train stations across the big screens. While Saturday's gig adhered to curfew on time, Sunday's preemptive start may have been a decision by Drake himself to avoid another truncated set. However, many expressed their frustration online, admitting they had not anticipated such a strict cutoff. One pinned on X, Drake's wireless set being 45 minutes today is the definition of daylight robbery. My head is hot. Wireless was good, man. Drake's set was crazy short and very underwhelming, though, another pin. Also very annoying that Vybz and Burner's mics kept fucking up and then they got cut off. Decent day, though. Overall, wireless was so dope, kind of felt shortchanged on the Drake set for day 3. I thought the Future DJ set thing was innovative, but doing house remixes to all the classics would have been much better hearing the OG versions, in my opinion. A fourth claim, yeah, I'm still pissed that second mystery Drake set that disappeared off the wireless app makes a lot more sense now. Following the show, Drake shared a selection of shots from his performances alongside a cryptic caption writing, "Thank you, London. Need some time to process what just happened, so I don't have my usual caption. Just thank you so much for the best 3 nights of my performance career." The rapper signed a multi-million-pound deal to headline all 3 nights of Wireless this year, a first for any artist, with his run at North London Festival forming part of his ongoing 2025 tour. Okay. Here they allude to him talking about the London rappers being the best. During Saturday's performance, Drake declared London rappers the best lyricists on the planet. The Grammy-winning superstar brought out UK heavyweights Dave, Central C, and J Hus as surprise guests during his performance on the main stage in Finsbury Park. London rappers are the best lyricists in the world, he said during his set. No disrespect to America, but nobody in the world can out-rap London rappers. This is the highest level. This is what I aspire to be. The Standard has contacted Wireless and Drake's reps for comment, and apparently they haven't received one because there was nothing to follow that up with. So the fans out there at Wireless felt shortchanged on day 3 because he left hella early. Now, I don't know if he was alerted of the whole Top 5 situation, which brought him off stage. I don't know how that happened in succession to the evening, but I guess we're going to have to get into that real quick, and then we're going to get into the latest update in the Drake UMG thing. So according to many sources across the internet, it looks like Drake's shooter, allegedly, but more of his homeboy, his knucklehead homeboy, Top5. It seems he was attacked out there in London last night. I don't know what sparked the issue, but they're saying that he was allegedly stabbed and that he sustained injuries in the neck region. He did survive, but at this point, he is healing up. There's video that has surfaced online of the alleged attack. I can't say that Top5 is definitively the person in this vehicle. I'm sure others will say that it is, but I don't see him. Therefore, I cannot say that it's him. I'm going to roll it one quick time. And I'm going to show it small on the screen because I don't want any community guidelines to come messing up what's over here. But you don't really see a lot. You see a riot breaking out in the street, and you see a bunch of people stomping on a vehicle, right? I'm going to show it in the right corner of my screen here. So this is the outbreak that's happening, right? People are stomping on this car. They're standing on the car. It's completely surrounded by UK residents. I don't know what led up to this moment, as I stated before. Somebody's trying to jar their way into the car. They're beating down the car. These niggas is literally playing the fucking Street Fighter load into the next mission, beating down this motherfucking car. Somebody done got the door open. They reaching in, they punching Ella. And they're claiming that some sort of weapon was used in this scenario. Again, I don't know if that's top 5 in that passenger seat. I cannot say that with confidence. But this is the video that is circulating across the internet alleging that this is what's going on. Right? Now, eventually, after this ruckus was cleared out, the car takes off, as you can see. We don't know who's in it, where they're going, or what. But that is the latest as far as my knowledge extends. If you have more information, feel free to share with me in the comments. Okay? But that's what I've been seeing. Now, I gotta say, for top 5, if that was in fact him, this is the energy that you've been carrying around you since you was locked up, since you've been set free, since you've been cleared to travel. Nothing but negativity and trouble has followed this guy. It's the same guy who just days after being released from jail in Canada was on stream talking about all of the things he wanted to do to Kendrick Lamar if he ever caught him, if he ever came to Canada. He was mad about Euphoria and Not Like Us and said all of this stuff he wanted to do. There's allegedly a call between himself, Wack 100, and Hitta J3 where he's once again making threats, perhaps even showing weapons on camera. I can't say because I haven't seen the video, but Wack has alluded to this thing and said you need to and Wack came out and said, Drake, you need to separate yourself from this guy. You're going to keep fucking around. He's going to get you in trouble. I'm still not understanding why he's commiserating with this guy. Top 5 has also been seen in circumference with Kanye, who is supposedly an enemy of Drake, but Kanye has been trying to rekindle that relationship and do an album with Drake. We'll see if that happens. That would be a I wouldn't want to hear it at this point. But whatever. You've really been out here promoting nothing but negativity and violence. I could have swore it was just a couple weeks ago. He was shot at during some sort of attempted robbery. Shortly thereafter, I believe he was arrested for something. So when you carry that type of energy around, something is inevitably going to happen to you. That's all I got on that. All right. But heal up, will up, bring it back, come rewind. All right. Let's move on to Drake UMG update. All right. So this is the first of many documents that we're going to go through as quickly as we can. Okay. So this is a notice of motion for leave to serve a Rule 45 subpoena on third party Kojo Asamoah. I don't know who this is. And they say by alternative means. Please take notice that plaintiff Aubrey Drake Graham, pursuant to New York Civil Practice Law and Rules 3081 through 5 and Federal Rules of Civil Procedure 4E1, 2, and 45, and upon the memorandum in support of this motion and supporting papers, moves this court for entry of an order permitting plaintiff to serve Mr. Kojo Asamoah with a copy of a Rule 45 subpoena by the alternative means listed in the memorandum. So apparently they believe that he has some sort of vital information as it pertains to UMG. Along with their motion, they have a memorandum of law in support of Drake's motion for leave to serve this subpoena to Kojo Asamoah. Okay, we're going to get past the table of contents and get right to it. Plaintiff Aubrey Drake Graham respectfully submits this memorandum of law in support of his motion for leave to serve a Rule 45 subpoena on third party Kojo Asamoah by alternative means. Okay. So they say on January 15, 2025, plaintiff commenced this action against UMG Recordings, Inc., asserting claims for defamation, harassment in the second degree, and violation of the New York General Business Law 349, and filed an amended complaint on April 16th alleging the same. ECF numbers 141. Plaintiff alleges inter alia that UMG published and promoted the defamatory material as in Not Like Us, which contains statements about plaintiff that are false and defamatory per se, and that it did so with actual malice. That's the thing that they have to prove for defamation is actual malice. Plaintiff further alleges that in publishing and promoting the defamatory material, UMG engaged in deceptive acts and practices in the conduct of business, trade, and commerce by covertly financially incentivizing third parties to play, stream, and promote the recording, and then by making materially false and misleading representations and omissions to consumers. Plaintiff identified Mr. Asamoah as a relevant witness. Okay, plaintiff has identified Mr. Kojo Asamoah as a relevant witness for his claim of deceptive business practices. Mr. Asamoah is listed as a witness on plaintiff's initial disclosures. Exhibit 2, based on the information available to plaintiff today, plaintiff believes that Mr. Asamoah possesses knowledge relating to UMG's use of covert tactics to promote the defamatory material, including because plaintiff believes that Mr. Asamoah was involved in directing payments and or financial incentives from UMG to third parties involved in online botting for the purpose of artificially inflating the streaming numbers of the recording. So they're saying that this person here, Mr. Kojo Asamoah, may have actually worked with UMG to disperse payments for online botting. So everybody that believes that Drake has removed the botting, we've talked about it numerous times on this channel. I told y'all that nigga has not removed the bot talk. He only rephrased it. But this right here goes to show you they say it directly. All right. They have speculation. They believe Mr. Asamoah was involved in directing payments and or financial incentives from UMG to third parties involved in online botting for the purpose of artificially inflating the streaming numbers of the recording. I've been telling y'all. Plaintiff believes that Mr. Asamoah engaged in this behavior through and or in connection with his relationship to Ramon Alvarez Smeekle, the executive vice president and head of digital marketing of UMG's Interscope Records. Mr. Alvarez Smeekle is listed as a witness on both plaintiff and UMG's initial disclosures, Exhibits 2 and 3. Plaintiff has been attempting to serve a subpoena ducis tecum on Mr. Asamoah, requesting 10 categories of documents. Example 1, the requests in the subpoena are targeted at discovering evidence of UMG's use of bots, payola, and other covert methods to promote the defamatory material. Of course, Not Like Us. Okay, B, plaintiff has made exhaustive efforts to locate and serve Mr. Asamoah without success. All right, so they have not been successful in serving him, but they need him because they feel he is vital to their argument. Shortly after the commencement of discovery in this action, plaintiff began serving discovery requests, including through the issuance of Rule 45 subpoenas to third parties. Plaintiff began attempting to serve the subpoena on Mr. Asamoah on March 14th, months ago. Despite repeated efforts to serve him at multiple locations over the course of many weeks at considerable cost to plaintiff has been unable to serve the subpoena on Mr. Asamoah. Specifically between March 14th, 2025 and April 10th, 2025, plaintiff attempted to serve the subpoena on Mr. Asamoah over a dozen times at eight addresses in 2 states with the assistance of 2 different firms. So they can't seem to pin this guy down. They have addresses on file for him and have unsuccessfully delivered the subpoena to him every time. They've attempted across 2 states. Okay? Plaintiff has employed both Nardello & Co., an experienced private investigative firm, and Capital Process Services, a well-established process server, in his efforts to locate and serve Mr. Asamoah. In total, plaintiff estimates that he has incurred costs in excess of $75,000 in connection with these efforts. Okay, so Drake is saying, hey man, I done spent $75K allegedly trying to find this guy, which is also going to tack on expenses towards UMG if by some stretch of the imagination he's able to win this lawsuit, right? Do I believe that will happen? Not necessarily. But as you can see, he just said he's dished out over $75K just in trying to serve subpoenas to this guy. Address 1. I ain't trying to get into this motherfucking addresses now. Just know them shits ain't work. You feel me? They've been coming to doors, they've been knocking, they've been doing all type of shit. They done went to Maryland, all type of shit now. Address 7, they went to 8 different addresses. Okay? I don't want to put homeboys' alleged residences on the spot in my video. Additionally, as part of plaintiff's efforts to locate and serve Mr. Asamoah, plaintiff obtained 3 email addresses believed to be associated with them. Okay? Counsel for plaintiff sent an email to each of these email addresses. Plaintiff did not receive any bounce back or response from any of the 3 emails. So there wasn't a bounce back that said that, this is an invalid user. And he also did not receive any responses. Plaintiff is not aware that Mr. Asamoah is represented by counsel, let alone counsel who would consent to service on his behalf. Given plaintiff's extensive and unsuccessful attempts to serve Mr. Asamoah through traditional means, plaintiff now respectfully requests the court permit plaintiff to serve Mr. Asamoah through alternative means reasonably calculated to ensure that he receives actual notice of the subpoena. Specifically, plaintiff respectfully requests leave to serve him by serving him with the subpoena through each of the following methods together the alternative means. By certified mail to these addresses that we will not be reading through. The court should permit plaintiff to serve Mr. Asamoah by the alternative means because service by traditional means is impracticable and the alternative means are reasonably calculated to ensure that he receives actual notice of. An individual located within a judicial district of the United States may be served by following state law for serving a summons in an action brought in courts of general jurisdiction in the state where the district court is located. In New York, the state in which this court is located, service may be effected upon a person by 1, personal service, 2, delivery of the summons to a person of suitable age and discretion at the individual's actual place of business, dwelling, or usual place of abode, and mailing it to the individual. 3, serving service on an agent, or 4, affixing the summons to the individual's actual place of business, dwelling, or usual abode, and mailing it to the individual. A court may direct alternative methods of service where service by traditional means is impracticable. The meaning of impracticable depends on the facts and circumstances of a particular case, meaning they have not been successful in delivering the shit. We ain't got to go too crazy here, right? They say it's impracticable. They tried at 8 residences, all right? I ain't finna be sitting here and trying to dissect this shit when they just repeating themselves. So this is the document that they attempted to serve to Mr. Asamoah to deliver the subpoena for him to produce documents. So here they say Plaintiff Aubrey Drake Graham, his Rule 45 subpoena. Okay? Pursuant to Rules 45 of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure and Local Civil Rule 26.3, Plaintiff Aubrey Drake Graham In the above captioned civil action hereby request that Kojo Asamoah produce all documents, electronically stored information, and tangible things in your possession, custody, or control that are responsive to the request for production of documents. Each individual request shall be read and interpreted in accordance with the definitions and instructions set forth below. The subpoena for documents, including each individual request for documents, shall be read and interpreted. All right. So, plaintiff incorporate by reference all the instructions, definitions, and rules contained, blase blah. Unless words or terms have been given a specific definition herein, each word or term used herein shall be given its usual and customary dictionary definition. Okay. So they want all communications of him and Universal. All right, here we get to section 5. Communication means, in addition to its customary and usual meaning, every contact of any nature, whether documentary, electronic, written, or oral, formal or informal, at any time or place, and under any circumstances whatsoever, whereby information of any nature is transmitted or transferred by any means, including but not limited to letters, memoranda, reports, emails, text messages, instant messages, social media, telegrams, invoices, telephone conversations, voicemail messages, audio recordings, face-to-face meetings and conversations, or any other form of communication, and any document relating to such contact, including but not limited to correspondence, memoranda, notes, or logs of telephone conversation, email, electronic chat, text messages on any platform, instant messages, direct or private messages, correspondence in meetups or chat rooms, and all other correspondence on social media. Without limiting the foregoing in any matter, commenting as well as any expression that is not directed at a specific person or otherwise may not be intended to provoke a response, such as a social media posting, likes, shares, or any other form of reacting to another's use of social media, are forms of communication. They also want all documents. So anything that he's talked to UMG about in I would suppose the past year need to be rounded up and submitted for discovery. Okay. They also go through multiple social media channels where if any communication took place, they would like to know what that's about as well. Now, they say bots refers to software programs designed to mimic human behavior to appear to be real on social media accounts. So I guess you're not only looking for bots in terms of music streaming, but also bots online. Drake, you know how many bots you got roaming around online, sir? Them niggas be trying to fight with me daily. Yep. Instruction. Unless otherwise specified, the relevant time period for the request is May 4th, 2024 through the present. Okay. Gonna ease through some of this stuff here because it's a lot to get through, and they're really just like expressing the definition of all of this. So documents to be produced. All documents and communications relating to the payment of money or conferral of other benefits by UMG, its agents, or anyone working on its behalf, or Kendrick Lamar. Duckworth. Y'all couldn't even spell that nigga name right. What the fuck? That's crazy, man. First they said that nigga was from Oakland in in his damn lawsuit. Now they saying Kenrick. Who the fuck is Kenrick? Anyway, his agents or anyone working on his behalf to you in exchange for the playing, promoting, or recommending of the recording, image, or video. Okay, so they need to see any documents or communications between this person and UMG or anyone that works with Kendrick about Not Like Us. Document request number 2. All documents and communications relating to any allegations, concerns, complaints, or reports, whether formal or informal, oral or written, made to you relating to payola violations regarding any musical works by Kendrick Lamar Duckworth. Allegations, concerns, complaints, or reports, whether formal or informal, oral or written, made to you relating to payola violations. I wonder who would have reached out to him regarding that. Document request number 3, all documents and communications relating to the payment and reimbursement of marketing funds by any name from UMG directly or indirectly for the benefit of Kendrick Lamar Duckworth or any person working on his behalf. Okay? So they want to see payment information, whether payment or reimbursement. I just want to know how this guy is going to have access to all of this stuff. Document request number 4. All documents and communication relating to the use of bots or similar methods in connection with any musical work by Kendrick Lamar Duckworth. I mean, if he played a role in allegedly botting, which I doubt, then he would have to come forth with documentation to support that he was involved. Document request number 5. All communications between you and Eamon Anthony Saleh relating to the recording, image, video, bots, or payola. So now they're saying, hey, if you've ever contacted Anthony relating to this recording, image, video, bots, or payola, submit those as well. Document request number 6. All communications between you and Ramon Alvarez Smeekle relating to the recording, image, video, bots, or payola. All communications between you and Josh Kaplan relating to the recording, image, video, bots, or payola. All right, so these are now, they're now getting into Interscope personnel, higher ups at the company. All communications between you and David Isaac Friley, known professionally as Dave Free. Whoa. Relating to the recording, image, video, bots, or payola. Okay. All communications between you and Kendrick Lamar Duckworth relating to the recording, image, video, bots, or payola. So they got it. So if this person here has had any contact with Kendrick, Dave Free, his manager, Anthony, UMG, or anyone affiliated with Kendrick, he has to submit all relevant documents. Document request number 10, documents and communications sufficient to show all phone numbers, email addresses, and social media accounts you use, access, or control. Okay? And this is their attempt to serve. They tried to serve this paperwork to this guy at 8 different residences across 2 different states, and they couldn't find them for the life of them. Now, interestingly enough, there's not a lot of information out there about Mr. Kojo Asamoah, but as y'all can see, his name comes up on this website called the Ripoff Report, and his name has been filed under scammer. Now, this was submitted Friday, May 10th, 2024, just a week after Not Like Us was released. Interesting. They say Kojo Asamoah talked to my underage daughter and stole money from her, whomever this person is. Okay? In the description of who he is, they say Mini Kojo, who was once a successful business person, Asamoah has been charged with fraud and sexual predation. Reports of money disappearing had police looking into Mini Kojo and his accounting, which caused the facade to collapse, locking investors in a web of dishonesty. Asamoah stole money for his own benefit, destroying lives and hopes in his trail. When authorities first started investigating Kojo Asamoah's business deals, some disturbing allegations of sexual misconduct and predatory behaviors had emerged. This had painting a horrifying image of Asamoah as an abuser who preyed on the vulnerable and gullible. What the hell are we? What are we reading here? The fact that adolescents were among Asamoah's victims and that his abhorrent acts left them permanently traumatized is the most startling part of the accusations against him. Asamoah took advantage of his position of authority to groom and take advantage of young victims, ages unknown, but was told to be under 18 years of age. Asamoah had left them emotionally and psychologically damaged through charm, deceit, and coercion. I'm only reading what's available. I didn't make none of this stuff up. I don't know nothing about this guy. Victims of Kojo Asamoah's stories had presented a horrifying image of organized exploitation and torture on his victims. Many victims had described how they were drawn to Asamoah in the hopes of receiving some mentoring or advances to their careers, only to be caught up in a terrifying web of deceit and deception. Some had told terrifying stories of being as aid by a guy they had formerly looked up to and trusted. As word spread throughout the community about Asamoah's detention, shock and belief turned to fury and resentment. At the depths of Asamoah's inhumanity, former co-workers and associates expressed shock, and victims found it difficult to process the pain they had experienced. Following Asamoah's nervousness, cries for justice echoed throughout public forums and social media demanding prompt and decisive action to hold Asamoah responsible for his crimes and guarantee that he could never again prey on the defenseless. What is this? What? I guess that's him in the studio. What the fuck? Related reports. Kojo Asamoah stole $2,000 from me and never paid the amount they're supposed to pay me. Phoenix, Arizona. Scam artist. Report hacking and fraud scam. Kojo Asamoah, shady Bitcoin scammer, Los Angeles, California. Kojo Asamoah stole over $300,000, Houston, Texas. Kojo Asamoah stole over $350,000 for down payment for a property in Long Beach, California. They say read more reports about this nigga. Shall I? As long as y'all don't try to charge me or make me fucking log in. All right, so you got 6 reports on your ass, sir. What the fuck going on? And what the hell does any of this have to do with UMG? Some sick shit going on here. This other site here displays a lot of sensitive information as to like driver's license information, all type of fucking addresses and stuff. I'm not going to show that on the screen. But they also claim that he's been jailed for arson, robbery, all type of shit, man. Like, how the fuck did he... I don't know what the hell's going on here. Now, when I look into Kojo Asamoah as it pertains to music, we see credits on Masego's Studying Abroad Extended Stay project. Masego Mystery Ladies featuring Don Toliver. Is that the... Oh, damn, he produced on that, and he out here producing scams too, and even worse. Damn, he done worked with Masego quite a bit. 2019, Up Late, Ari Lennox, Shea Butter Baby, Ari Lennox, more Masego. And before 2018, you go all the way back to 2006. That's a long time of inactivity, my boy. 2006 to 2018, what the fuck? So, I don't know, man. All it look like it's a whole gang of other shit, but these are like projects that I don't see who the artist is. So, maybe he's a producer in the industry, has a relationship with people at different labels, but they also say he's got weird cases, they allege. There is just nothing regular about none of this shit, man. That's what I can say. There is nothing normal about none of this shit that's going on. All of this stuff is mind-boggling, baffling, disturbing. with allegations like that on his name, I wouldn't want him nowhere near this shit. Boy, he might know something about you, Drake. What the fuck? It's nothing to laugh at, but what the fuck? So that's where we stand. Now, in other news, I'll go ahead and close out with a update that came while I was reading all of this information. We now have Drake himself coming out, and he is not pleased about what did I miss not hitting the #1 spot on the Billboard Hot 100. He says, suppressor on the 1 spot. Laughing emoji. I'm taking that soon. Don't worry. One song or another. Rule changes and all. Okay, so he's #2 on the Hot 100 with #1 song being Ordinary by Alex Warren. Okay, and he said he's coming for the #1 spot, but he feels suppressor. He feels like he's being suppressed by the industry, I suppose, that he can't get to #1. Okay, he's talking about rule changes and everything. He feels like the industry is against him completely. But he does believe he will get back to the #1 spot. Also, we see Luther here at #7. So Luther is still going strong. Shabuzi is still going strong, goddamn. Tipsy. Fuck. But yeah, man, that's where we are. He's not so pleased. He wanted to debut at #1. I thought it was going to debut at #8. But hey, man, I guess his fans really found what he missed, you know? Let me know what y'all think of all this down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, become an insider. I will catch y'all on the next one. Much love and respect. Y'all be good out there. Peace. King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rags. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mile. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef on computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. With drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I've been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.